Hello, 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 and welcome back to another installment of Walking and Talk with Jimmy. It has been a while, and it's pretty cool because the weather is starting to cool, which means that I don't have to worry about sweating as much, and it's been really nice to get back out here. I do have to think about how do I continue these when the weather really gets cold, because we are in Maryland. There are some days it is in the 30s. But if I can run, that means I can also find some time to walk, even when it's a little bit of cold. We have to spruce up our cold weather gear. So I was talking to a friend, and we're just talking about different things, and wanted to thank my good friend Howard. Always just really great conversation and allow me to ideate in different ways and challenge my perception. But we just got on the concept of money and some books that we've read and books that we would evangelize and had our kids read and recommend that a lot of young people can read. One is, I think, a very popular book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I wish I could tell you I read this book years ago, but it wasn't. It's probably about, I think I've picked it up in the last 4 to 5 years, which then led me to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And the book that's not necessarily about money, but As a Man Thinketh, which is a really short book. And that's a book I've read in the last 12 months that really shaped the way I view a lot of things. And that's a very short perspective of books. So during that conversation, we were just thinking about the importance of people's relationship with money. And if you grew up like me, I grew up in a pretty Christian household, and I can't tell you how many times that I heard that money was the root of all evil. And for the longest time, that really damaged my relationship with money. And I found myself keeping myself in a position to where I would always only just have enough to get by, because that's what I thought was right. And the funny thing about it is you meet new people, you expand your circle, you grow and you expand your horizon. You realize that enough is very subjective. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that, because as I listen and I talk to people that I know and I hear people talk about different challenges, I know that a lot of people have a really negative relationship with money. And I can recall when I was coming up, thinking that each milestone was going to solve a set of problems. And not only did more problems continue to come, but no matter how much money I made, the same problems I had when I was making minimum wage, I had when I broke 6 figures for the first time. And it was around that point that I understood that it was more about not how much I made, but how I approached and how I understood money and what I was using money to do. And for the longest time, I was using money to acquire things, really, versus using money to have my freedom and buy my time back, or to have different experiences. And again, it was because my relationship with money wasn't great. I thought that too much was negative and that was the root of all evil. And that's what my vibration kept me at. It kept me in a place where I wanted to be safe. I was looking for a consistent, reliable income. And I knew that I can trust myself to always get up and work. And it wasn't until, I probably got a lot closer to 40 that I started thinking about a lot differently. And it wasn't so much about how many hours I worked. I was trying to figure out how to do things more efficiently so I can get more time back to do the things that I love and enjoy time with people that I love. And I've been fortunate to always find the positive in the work that I did, and I really enjoy the work that I do. I love the opportunity to impact people's careers and bring joy to people every day. And so that's not something that I take for granted. And I know a lot of people are stuck in things that they don't enjoy to do. They don't enjoy doing. And so my challenge is to really think about your relationship with money. Are you asking for it from a perspective to just not have enough? Are you asking for it from a place of not having it? Or do you understand that at the end of the day, money's a concept that allows us to buy time? Time is money, money is time. And having money allows you to spend your time doing the things that you love. And so changing your vibration on how you approach money is something that's extremely important. For the longest time, and this is me being vulnerable, I had to really work on my credit. And I was one of the fortunate kids where my mom taught me about credit, but I didn't really understand what she was teaching me until I got older. And other influences, siblings, friends. I remember the number of 18-year-olds, and I was an underclassman that were super excited to get credit cards and buying all this stuff. And that seemed pretty cool. But at the end of the day, right, it's just stuff. But that had more of an impact on my mind than what my mother was teaching me about credit. And I was making sure that, I protected it. I had a good relationship. I demonstrated that I could pay my bills so I could really have a good credit score. But because I let other influences dictate my decision making, I started off really rocky. And my credit hit a 450. And I will tell you, when you have credit that low, there's really nothing you can do no matter how much money you make. And I remember being frustrated with everybody else and these interest rates. But at the end of the day, I knew what the interest rates were when I made those decisions. So now I think of credit as something significantly different. I don't usually use credit to buy things. I try to use credit to acquire things that's going to grow in wealth or grow in money as an investment in my business or a resource, etc. And I'm not a credit expert. That's really not what this video is about. I just really wanted to share a vulnerable story about just the importance of having a positive relationship with money. And this is really important for Black people, especially Black people that grow up in the hood, where we don't always have a great amount of financial literacy resources. But those books that I dropped are some really great places to start. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Richest Man in Babylon, and I'll try to remember to drop the links to the books. I don't remember the name of the author of The Richest Man in Babylon. They're really great, easy to read books that if you find yourself struggling financially, it's a really great place to start moving in a really great direction. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to change your life overnight, but it really can start to change your life overnight and start building some really good behaviors. Definitely changed the way that I approach money and how I think about it today. So that's it. Just another quick video I guess I'm getting pretty good at making these a little bit more concise as we get into more deeper topics. I'm excited to have a little bit longer form content. But I like the natural flow of these videos so far. And this is probably my first night video, so this is the latest that I've shot. And I'm interested to see how this turns out using the main camera on the iPhone in cinema mode. So with that said, y'all, if you haven't liked this video, if you got this far, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead. We're growing like crazy, 250 subscribers and counting. So I'm really humbled and excited about that. So thank you all, and I will see you soon.